What's going on, everyone? Alex Da Silva, Happy as Larry Group. I hope you are well. Happy Wednesday. We are at that middle mark. We are halfway through the week. And you know what? It's been a beautiful week. It's been an incredible week so far. I think all the videos I do with Lucy, we always have a fantastic week. But you know what? That's what life is all about. And it is about having good times. It really, really is. Life is about enjoyment. Life is about having fun. And sometimes I get challenged, goes, yeah, but life is really stressful. Yeah, life is stressful if you allow it to be. So I'm just going to get straight to it, and I'm just going to crack on and talk to you about the topic of today's video. The topic of today's video is balance. Yes, that nice little word, balance. And that is the reason why most of the time, not every single day, you know what, I feel pretty good. You know, and I think most of us do. Most of us do when we have balance, you know, when we have that nice little equilibrium in life, everything is pretty good. You know, we can manage life pretty well. So what is balance? Balance is simply an even distribution of weight or something, and which is something to help us remain upright and steady. Says it all, doesn't it? Pretty simple. That's me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. No, I'm joking. Here we go. I've got a little bit more than that. So what I want to talk about is that I've actually thought about this one a little bit. I always do when we try to do these videos. And, you know, what I want to discuss is how can we find balance? Not just from a personal perspective, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this one. And let's get straight to it. So, as always, and I always like to say, Lucy's not here again. Boo, I hate it when she's not here. And these videos will start to, you know, the both of us will be doing a lot more of these videos because she's very, very soon, in about 2 weeks' time, she'll be here full time. But to be honest, if you're watching this in the future, it's not going to matter anyway. It's not going to make a huge difference. But I miss the fact that she's not here because she's my little partner in crime. But so let's get straight to it. You know, how can we balance? How can we find balance? Also, before I start, I went to lunch with a friend of mine and he gave me the idea for this video. Every time we meet for lunch, we end up having a conversation and something jumps up. And I always say to him, I'm going to do a video on that. So, Kev, thanks for that, brother. I'm doing a video on balance today, following a conversation that we had, and he knows this anyway, and he'll be watching this and he'll know. So thanks for that, dude. So how can we find balance? I guess let's start with us. You know, that is the most important thing. I think if you've watched our previous videos, you always know, and we go on and on about how important it is for us to look after ourselves first, you know, for us to put us first. And again, I've been challenged previously, why do we have to put ourselves first? I want to help other people. Well, you are no use to anybody if you don't have, you know, internal peace, internal love, and you have self-care. And in order to be able to do that, you need to find a balance in life. You know, we can't just give everything away. We can't give away all of our energies, all of our resources. You know, what's going to be left for us? And a lot of the times what happens is if we don't find that balance, we tend to get really resentful. We tend to get really, really tired. We tend to get really snappy. And we also tend to start resenting people. Why is it that no one does anything for me? So find that balance. Life balance. I think, you know, we can start there. Finding the life balance, I think it's really, really important because having a balance in life it's important because it allows us to divide things, you know, into little segments, you know, and life being one of them, work being one of them, our health is another one. So this is kind of us dividing these little things into little segments. So as we're talking about us finding, you know, that equal balance for us, this is what we need to do. We need to find a life balance. We need to find a work balance. We need to find a health balance. We need to find a balance in our relationships, and we need to have a social balance as well. So all of these things are absolutely key in our daily lives. This is not, let's just do it for the moment, let's just put certain things in place and then we'll go on about life and completely forget about it. If you start to put these things into place and you do them on a daily balance, it is a daily balance. If you do it on a daily basis, you will find daily balance. And having a life balance, having a work balance, how many people that I've spoken to in the past, work colleagues previously, friends who said, and I speak to people now, who say, God, I'm working X amount of hours, and I spoke to someone who's on holiday and he's talking to me about work and he said, my wife wants me to stop, answering emails. So I said, well, stop answering my emails then, I'll speak to you when you get back. And that was it. And we stopped emailing each other. But this is the thing. It's about having that life-work balance. And where does health kick in? Going to the gym, again, doing all of these things, being at home and trying to communicate with people and, whatever it might be, having kids. My daughter's 12, my son's 19. By the time you watch this video, if it's in the future, it's not going to matter because they're going to be adults, but no doubt I'll have more, and this is the thing. But for you, if you're starting a new family, or if you're about to start a new family, or if you have a young family, it is so important for you as an individual and you as a couple to have these balances. And balances come with respect. So it's understanding each other's needs, having your separate needs, your separate time. Lucy and I are very good at that. Not that our lives are perfect, by no means, but what we do is we work together to have these balances. Just before I started doing this video, we were messaging and I said to her, right, baby, I'm just about to do a video, and we were talking about things that, we've got to do this weekend. She needs some time on her own on Friday, and I said, okay, cool, listen, I'll give you some time, I'll go and do something. That's what it's all about. It's about finding that balance where you respect each other and you help each other out where needed. So finding that balance in life, finding that balance in work. Excuse me, health is a really, really important one. I stuck that to the back burner for a long, long time, and it really, really affected me. And having a health balance is really, really important, and I think, being able to look after yourself from a health perspective, whether you're eating properly, whether you're going to the gym. If you don't like going to the gym, you can go for long walks, you can go for a run, you can go bike riding, you can do yoga, you can meditate. Looking after your health is mentally, physically, and spiritually. These are three key things which are really, really important, again, in our daily lives. I look after myself mentally, I look after myself physically and spiritually. I meditate every day, I go to the gym every day. And you know what, when something comes up mentally, if I'm kind of battling with the mind, which we all do, we all have negative thoughts. And these are things that if we can balance out things like thoughts, understanding things that are real and things that are not. If we're able to manage these things effectively, what happens is we have a much better balanced life, in a healthy way. So that's from a healthy perspective. Relationships are touched on, and I don't need to spend too much time on that because I think it makes perfect sense, with everything that we just discussed. Again, it's the same formula. If you're in a relationship, it doesn't have to be a loving relationship with regards to boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm talking with family, I'm talking with kids, I'm talking with friends. It all applies. So from a relationship perspective, we talk about boundaries quite a lot. These things help to have, a nice healthy balance. And it's really, really key for you, because this video is about you, for you to find the balance on what makes you happy. That's what this is all about. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you some advice, things that we apply in our daily lives, and it works for us. And again, this is trial and error. Sometimes we try things and sometimes they don't work. We give you things to try out. You guys email us, or you text us, or you comment below, and you let us know. If it doesn't work, we'll keep trying stuff and we'll keep sharing it with you. If you try something that really, really works, share it with us. That's what this is all about, helping to change the world one person at a time. And so from a relationship perspective, that's what this is all about. It's about, sharing your ideas, sharing your thoughts, sharing your goals, speaking openly and honestly, putting boundaries in place and finding, that nice kind of medium, the happy medium, especially if you're in a relationship and in a couple. I know sometimes we all want to be in a really healthy relationship. It's you know what, it's the most beautiful thing, being in a relationship now where it's healthy. We have to work at it. It's not perfect, but we work at it. And then when I say it's not perfect doesn't exist. What I mean also is that we have to work at it. We have to work in a sense that we communicate. I want to know how her day is. I want to speak to Lucy and say, baby, what's going on today? What's going on with you? How was your day? If you were stressed, why? And she asked me the same question, and we talk to each other. We talk to each other throughout the day. She gets home and we carry on the conversation. We laugh, we cry together, and we, a lot of the times we're really silly, but you know what? These are the balances of a healthy relationship. And if you translate that into a friendship, if you translate that into family, kids, again, you put these things into, into different areas of your life, it all works exactly the same. The formulas will always be the same. All you have to do is just replicate them. It's as simple as that. And it really, really works. And if you need to add to it, then add to it. There is no, anything that we say, we teach, these are basis. And then because individuals have their own characteristics, we're all the same in many, many ways, but we also have our own characteristics. How I find balance, may be different to you. But if what I'm saying now is a baseline, you can then add to that. I add to things all the time because I'm constantly learning, and I'm constantly learning new ways to do things. I'm constantly changing because it may not work for me. Lucy does exactly the same. People that we work with, they do exactly the same. So what I'm trying to say is listen, if these little basics, if these things work and you think, you know what, I can add to them, then please do, and let us know if you do. If it works for you, then let us know. Socially, pretty much exactly the same thing. And I think, finding that social balance, because it does affect everything else as well that we discussed. It's great to go out and hang out with friends and hang out with family, so on and so forth. But again, it's finding that nice healthy balance of, being able to go and socialize and then just being able to kind of chill out on your own. Some people hate that. And I always think if you hate being on your own, you need to do a little bit of work, because I hated being on my own, and I did some work and I understood why. And today, listen, I work at home, and I'm on my own a lot of the times, and I love it. I used to have the TV on, I used to have the radio on. Now it's complete silence. Today has been raining all day, and it's the most peaceful thing. It's so beautiful just to hear the rain, and I've got the window slightly open, and you know what, it's absolutely beautiful. It's just bliss. And that's what life is. And you know what, for me to say that, and the way my head works usually, or used to work, it's just fantastic. Again, because I've learned to just find a nice balance. I don't want to isolate myself from the world, which I'll never do. I did that a hell of a lot, and it did me no good. So again, it's just finding a nice healthy balance with things. Go out, go socialize, go travel, go do whatever. And one of the things that I never do in videos is I never tell people things that they shouldn't do unless it's damaging. Do you know what? Go live life. That is our biggest thing. Go live life. I say it to my kids, I say it to my family, I say it to friends. I never, again, unless it's something that's damaging. If it's something that's positive, go do it. Who's going to stop you? Who's going to tell you what? Just go and, and have fun. That's what life is all about. I sat with my friend today and we were having lunch, and I said to him, do you know what the most beautiful thing about life is? Living it. Being here right now with him, and just kind of sat there when we were talking, we were laughing, we got a little bit serious. But it was enjoyable. It's beautiful to be able to sit there and just have a normal conversation with a human being, a friend, and just to kind of share ideas, and kind of learning from each other. And just socializing, just kind of laughing, catching up on life, and just remembering dumb stuff that we used to do and things that we regretted. And you know what? Today we don't. That's what life is all about, and that's the kind of the social element. Balance with regards to others. Well, we can't control other people. We'd like to try, and we fail miserably. And I think one of the things we need to individually, as you're listening to this, think about yourself. So when I say this, I usually say it about me. One of the things I've learned to do is to understand that I cannot control another human being. I can't. I'll never be able to. You know, I could try. I used to try and control and manipulate people all the time, and you know, and I succeeded. But it's horrible. You know, I think as a human being, it's not something that makes anybody feel good. It doesn't matter who you are, and if you say you love it, I think you're lying. And because nobody wants to, you know, I think deep inside we all want to be loved. We all want to be cared for. You know, I always say human beings want to give love and they want to receive love. And I think sometimes people do it so much that it becomes controlling. And I think that's where it can get a little bit tricky. Again, find a balance in that. You know, and let others have their journey. You know, we all have our journey. Again, whether it's a life balance, work balance, health balance, relationship, social, certain things, unless it's to do with us personally, we cannot control these things. The quicker you understand that, the quicker you accept that, tell you, your life will be so much easier, so less stressful. You know, the anxiety will lower, the depression, the expectations. We were talking about this today. You know, I always talk about lowering expectations. You know, lower your expectations about other people and you're never going to let yourself down. Because if you focus on you, whatever everybody else decides to do, it's up to them. It's their journey. You know, so focus on your happiness. Find that little balance and understand it. You know what? We can always try to influence people, but we can never control them. So have a little think about that, you know. And one of the other ones I wanted to talk to, which is which I've started to see quite a lot lately, you know, on TV, and I've been watching things and I've been studying a little bit, and I wanted to talk about the world. How can we find balance in the world? And I think this is one where we can all help each other. We can all contribute to this, but we can all contribute it by doing things individually. And if individually we can find happiness and we can find that, you know, that happy medium, then I think, you know, we can start to really make a difference in the world. Balance, you know, is the yin yang. You know, it's the good and evil. You know, it's the love and fear. You know, it's the light and dark, which my friend will laugh about this one, because he's a Star Wars fan. And it is, you know, and life always has that balance of good and bad, good and evil, love and hate, you know, love and fear. And, you know, we've seen, you know, out in the world, you know, at the moment, there is so much war going on at the moment, you know, and I've been sort of watching things on TV and, you know, and just seeing a few things pop up on social media lately. And it's awful, you know, to see, you know, that, you know, kids are dying now, you know, and young little kids, little babies, you know, and we're fighting over war, oil, you know, money, whatever it might be. And sometimes I sit there and I just think, it breaks my heart, you know, because when I was just talking about others, you know, there are people in the world who still want to control the world, you know, and we allow that to happen because we think we have no control. So, you know, we kind of just sit back, unfortunately, and say, well, what can I do about it? Well, I think we all know, you know, with war, there is always peace. You know, that's what we all want to achieve. And I think when we're talking about war, everyone hates that word. Nobody wants to see another human being die. Nobody wants to go and kill another human being. So why do we do it? What do we have to do in order for that to stop? We need to work towards peace. You know, we need to do that individually. You know, because human beings, when they start to feel positive individually and they're living in that part, which is the peaceful part, everybody then starts to follow suit. And I know it may seem a little bit, it may seem difficult to grasp, but it's the law of attraction, you know, and we attract, you know, the things that we put out into the world, and like attracts like. So if you're a bad human being, you're going to attract bad people. If you're in a bad place in your life, you're going to attract similar. If you're in a really loving and caring place in your life, you generally tend to attract the same thing. So, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say with regards to war is, what we can do individually is we can start to drive peace. If we can start to do that individually, and if we can work and collaborate together, eventually the world is going to get there, and that is one of my biggest things, and that is one of my biggest wishes, is to be able to end, these wars. It's, whether it's on religion, whether it's to do with money, power, whatever it might be, because the people in power are the only people that seem to get something out of this, yet we are left to pick up the pieces. We get to fork out, we get left with a bill, we get left with, the loss of families, we get to fight each other, and this is the interesting thing, that we miss out on all of these things. Why are we fighting each other? You didn't do anything to me, I didn't do anything to you. This, seems to be these people in power that seems to be generating all of this, these wars, and we seem to fight each other, with all of these excuses and all of these reasons, that, we hear in the media, and we spend hours, I don't personally, but I know people who spend hours behind a screen, arguing amongst each other, about things that actually don't matter. Because what we do, and I said this before, we either have two choices. We either make time or we waste time. And every single minute and second or millisecond that we spend behind a screen arguing with another person behind another screen that we've never met over things that we have no control over, we waste time, we waste life. And why are we arguing? Why are we hating? And this is what, war is also all about. It's becoming this hate thing, where there is no support anymore. It seems to be, how can I hate more than you? That's what it always seems to be, and hopefully we can achieve that peace, and I'll move on. It goes on to hunger. There is people starving out in the world. I grew up in Brazil, and I've seen this. I was very blessed, not to be in that situation. Very, very thankfully. And I've been very, very lucky. But I grew up in poverty. We weren't rich, far from it. My family were extremely poor, but what we had was each other. That's one of the things that we had. We had each other. And I think human beings, this is why I love you. This is why I love you. Because when you see through this, and you know what I mean, when someone's in trouble or something happens, we come together. I've seen it on TV so many times, and it brings tears to my eyes, because this is what I mean when I just spoke about war. Now I'm saying to you, do you know what? There is people starving out in the world, and when we pull together, we help, we change. We make these changes that are effective, and do you know what? It affects every single one of us. So if we can stop being negative, if we can lessen that, and we can change more into a positive thing, and all of our actions, if we stop wasting time being so negative behind the screen and actually start promoting love and care and helping each other, and start pushing these things. Sit behind the screen, please do. But if you're sitting behind the screen loving the world, I fucking love you back. I really, really do. And I hope that if you are watching and you are one of those people, please share this video and share the love. Because we need it. The world needs it. We need you to do this. I need you to do this in order for us to find this balance. And that's what the world reads like now. We need to bring down this hate, and we need to bring up the love, and find this beautiful balance. And this is what we are. We're incredible human beings. We're in this world to live. So why don't we live happy? That's always been my thing. And I'm starting to really, really understand that, which then brings me to hate. What's the opposite to that? It's love. Simple as that. I don't need to say anything else. Love is the most beautiful thing in the world. I've got so much love today. I've got so much gratitude today, for the people around me. Lucy is the most beautiful woman ever. She's an incredible human being. I love her to pieces. And, my friends, I love every single one of them. They're friends I have today, and even some of the people that I've lost, I love them because I know my actions, my behaviors hurt them, and I understand these things today. My family who always stood by me, my kids, I love my kids more than anything. They're incredible little animals. I love them. My daughter's a little monkey. My son's like a bear. He's just incredible, and they cringe when they watch this. But you know what? It's life. Do you know what? What are you going to do about it? I just said on video, millions of people are going to watch this, and what? but that's love. I love them. And they'll probably say it themselves. They'll have no qualms in doing it. I have an incredible relationship with them. And love is the most important thing in life. With everything we do. Every single thing we do. Love is the most important thing in life. At the end of the day, when all the money runs out, when everything, all the resources in the world is gone, the only thing that will never run out is love. Never forget that. When everything else fails, another human being will always love another human being. Always. It's a fact. Look at all of the crises around the world. Human beings pull together. And that's what I'm trying to say, you know, is pull that. You know, let's try and push that love. Politics. I'll touch on this really, really quickly because I hate it. I won't talk about it too much. It's not my thing. I don't want to get involved in it. I let the politicians talk about politics. But one of the things I do want to say is there are some incredible people out there who do some incredible things for the world. And there are some people out there who unfortunately don't. And the only thing I would say is the people out there who do have the power, that do have the influence to be able to make some changes. And some of the changes that have been made into this world have been negative because of power, because of greed. You cannot take these things when you go. And you've got to understand that if it takes you to the point where you exhaust that power and then you're sitting in your deathbed and you realize what I'm saying is true, so be it. But I hope that the next person that takes over that power understands one thing. One of the things that we need, which I talked about, is love. With that comes honesty. You know, every human being here, you know, we rely on politicians because, yes, we can break rules, but we cannot break laws. We have to abide by the law, and I'm a huge believer in that. But we put our emphasis, you know, on these people that have the power. You know, they create these laws, and we put so much emphasis in these people because, you know, to the point where we then end up fighting each other, which is what I mentioned earlier. So if there's one thing that I ask is that, you know, the people who hold power, you know, whether there are politicians, whether they sit, you know, behind the media, whatever it might be, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to listen. All I'm here to do is just ask that we can start to change things and start to become a little bit more honest, because this greed, this power, these wars, the people that are dying out in the world for the sake of wealth and greed, these things won't make any difference. As I said, when the money runs out, when the resources run out, and there is nowhere to hide, the only thing that will be left in this world is love. So use that power to promote love, to promote care, to help people that cannot help themselves. That is one of the things that we need to start doing, is helping others, you know, who can't help themselves. We seem to kill them for some reason. We seem to think that, you know, human beings who are less than, you know, are no use to us. Every single human life is just as important as another. Every single one. And we need to make sure that together we can change that. We can make sure that we start respecting human lives and we start saving human lives. And we look after this incredible planet. It's pissing down with rain in London. It's horrible here, but you know what? I love it today because it's so peaceful. Because I love being here. That's the difference. So, make a change. Please. You guys have the power. So, do some honest stuff. Start loving and stop being so fucking greedy. Excuse my language. Sorry, Mum. Racism. I hate that. Any isms. Feminism. You know, all isms. It's all about equality. You know, colour, religion. You know, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, it does not matter. You are a human being. And I personally love you. I don't care whether you're fat, short, round, skinny, black, white, Chinese, it does not matter. You know, we need to open our eyes and see that every single human being on this earth, we're exactly the same. Yeah, we have different personalities and we all have our little quirks and we all look different, but that's what makes us individuals. But as I said, when everything else disappears, there is only one thing that lasts, and that's love. And we need to start seeing that. We need to learn, to educate ourselves. You know, if you are one of these people who, again, sits behind the screen, you know, being racist or being feminist or whatever ism that you like to practice, take a look in the mirror. You know, there is no difference between you and I. You know, there is no, all we want, effectively, we just want to have a better world, right? That's all we want. We just want to live in a better place. But we will never, ever achieve that if we keep hating on each other. Hate only generates hate. The only thing that will generate what we all want in the end, which is peace, is love. So we have to promote that. We have to stop fighting against each other. We have to promote that. So it's all about equality, humanity. It's all about love. I just mentioned it again, and I won't touch too much on that. Sadness, which there is a lot in the world at the moment. It's all about happiness. So there's your balance. You know, everything that I just discussed, there's always a balance for everything. And I think in life, if we find that balance, we find that happy medium. And that happy medium is what makes us happy, is what makes us tick. And I think there is so many negative things in the world at the moment that all we need to do is just find that little bit of a balance. I'm not saying that the world is ever going to be perfect. I think we can all wish. But you know what? I'd rather it wasn't, because it has a little bit of a personality. And I think if we have that personality, it means that we can continuously work towards something great. I don't ever want to reach perfection. 99%. I keep that 1% in my pocket because I never want to reach perfection. I always want to keep working towards something. I'll always put over 100% into everything that I do. But I never want to reach 100%. I always want to be at 99%. Just so I have that 1%, which means I can keep working to becoming a better person, to becoming a better father, to becoming a better friend, a better partner. Hopefully to be able to give you a better message, you know, in the next video. So, yeah, if you've watched towards the end, thank you so much. Listen, you guys are incredible, and I wanted to share this video with you because, you know, everything we do is from love. You know, we want to create a better world. We want to teach people about, you know, finding a balance, living in a better relationship, you know, and that's what it's all about, you know. And if we can help in any way, as you know, we are always here. So you can go onto our website, which is www.happyaslarrygroup.com. Please leave your comments below. Please like the videos and share. You know, we want to get this message out to the world. We want to share this as much as possible. So please help us change the world one person at a time. You know, share these videos, get it out there. And if you like the message, please let us know. If you don't like the message, yes, let us know. We want to know why. And I'm not going to fight with you, just so you understand. I am not going to jump in a ring with you. But what I will say is I love you and thank you for sharing. Have an incredible day. Follow us on our social media. We are across every single one of them. Below, all of our social media links are on there. I hope you have an incredible day. I hope you have an incredible life. And if you've got something out of this, fantastic. Listen, guys, thank you so much for everything that you do for us. Thank you for always inspiring us. Thank you to every single one of my friends who have been through us, you know, family, my beautiful girlfriend and partner who is not here, but she's always with me. Yeah, we love you. Have an incredible day. Take care.